If you have ever been part of a design class, watched a design YouTube video, or been traumatized by a design critique, odds are that you probably heard a lot of nevers. Never use more than 2 fonts, never use all caps, never center your text. And the funny thing is that designers break these rules all the time. But there is a big difference between breaking a rule because you don't know it exists and breaking a rule because you understand it so well that you understand when it no longer applies. So today I want to talk about typography rules that designers break on purpose, why the rules exist and why breaking them sometimes actually works, and when breaking them will absolutely sabotage your design. This is honestly one of my favorite things to talk about, so buckle up. This is going to be a chatty one. Okay, I want to start by actually defending typography rules for a second, because they really get villainized. Rules exist in typography because typography isn't just about making text look cool. It is about communication. It is about how fast someone could actually understand something. It is about accessibility, hierarchy. Most typography rules are guardrails. They are there so beginner designers don't make something that is accidentally unreadable, overwhelming, or just confusing. But the problem is a lot of designers get stuck at the rule stage. They learn what to do, but they never understand why. And once you understand the why, it unlocks a lot more freedom in your design. This is probably the first rule that all of us learn. Pick one font for heading, one font for body text. And maybe you will get to use an accent font if you behave. And honestly, that's really great advice for early on. Too many fonts, they'll compete with each other. They fragment the message. They make the design feel indecisive. When everything has a different personality, your design starts to feel like a group project where no one actually talked to each other. Now, open literally any fashion magazine, editorial spread, experimental poster. You will see that the designer used 4, maybe 5 different fonts, sometimes even more typefaces. But here is the difference. Each one has a very specific role. One font might be doing structure, and one might be there for emotional support. One is adding to the contrast. That is not chaos, that is orchestration. Now, when not to break it. If you're designing for something that is a corporate brand, a website, or something that needs to be understood instantly, that is not the time to use several different fonts. Expression is fun, but clarity is a non-negotiable. Rule number 2, never use all caps. All caps is one of those rules that designers feel very strongly about. And yes, long blocks of all caps is very difficult to read. They remove word shapes. They slow people down. But all caps, it communicates a tone. All caps is confident, bold, assertive. It works beautifully in short bursts. Headlines, labels, buttons, branding. The secret sauce here is tracking. All caps without extra spacing, it feels a little too aggressive. All caps with spacing, it suddenly feels intentional. Typography is vibes plus math. Let's talk about when not to do it. Please do not set all paragraphs in all caps, and then sit back and wonder why no one wants to read your website. Rule number 3. Centered text is bad design. Centered text gets absolutely roasted in design school. And yes, there's a reason. Left-aligned text is naturally easier to scan. Your eye, it knows where to start. And centered text, it creates like this floating feeling. But here's where the nuance comes in. Centered text, it works when symmetry is the point. Poetry, quotes, invitations, minimalist posters. It works when the goal isn't efficiency, it's mood. Centered text is not bad design. Centered text used by default is. Rule number 4, tight kerning is always wrong. Kerning is where typography does become a bit emotional. Tight spacing in body text, painful. Tight spacing in a logo and headline, Suddenly it feels more intentional. Designers use kerning to create tension, intimacy, impact. But this is important. You have to zoom out. If you have to explain your kerning, it's probably too much. Okay, guys, so here's the big takeaway. Typography rules, they don't exist to limit you. They exist to teach you about judgment. Good design is not about following the rules perfectly. It's about knowing what rules matter most and when. If you're breaking a typography rule, you should be able to explain why, even if your explanation is just like it creates the feeling that I want. If you like this video, let me know. I could talk about typography forever. And yes, of course, there will be a part 2. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and give it a like. Subscribe for more videos just like this because I make them every single week. And that's all I have for you right now. I'll see you next time. Bye.